Hello, Epainos family, and good day to you all. Following my previous communication about awaiting the government's decision regarding opening up of England fully from pandemic restrictions, you will all now be aware that the vast majority of legal restrictions put in place throughout the coronavirus pandemic ended last night. Proceeding to step 4 means the removal of legal limits regarding social contact, with advice replacing legal restrictions. Decisions on whether to uphold particular measures will now be left to personal conscience. The primary areas where the changes will affect us as a congregation are: 1. The requirement to socially distance and gatherings with limited numbers will be removed. Secondly, the requirement to wear a face mask in enclosed spaces will also be removed. And thirdly, it will no longer be required to keep a record of who was present at a venue or an event. As a consequence then, legal restrictions on various religious practices have also fallen away. So things like congregational singing, communion or Lord's Supper, baptisms or laying on of hands, which are regular practices across many Christian congregations as part of their worship services, will no longer be regulated by law. As your pastor, I have always kept our individual and collective safety uppermost in my mind regarding any return, which is why we have not done so before this point. We should give God thanks and be very grateful for the freedom to pursue a semblance of normalcy. The changes to social distancing requirements now means we can meet freely together for the first time since last year. The removal of legal restrictions shifts responsibility from the government to the local congregation. And whilst this is positive, it also brings challenges. There is no government rule establishing what you can or cannot do safely. My view is that what congregations can do isn't necessarily what they should do. As we proceed to return, we want to do so with wisdom and caution, using the newfound freedoms responsibly. Despite the good work of an unprecedented national vaccination program, infections of the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus are rising and are projected to continue to rise to alarming rates this summer and into the autumn. Clearly, the element of risk remains, so a cautious approach is the one we will be taking, and we are ensuring measures that allow us to limit the spread of the virus. The removal of the requirement to wear face masks in enclosed spaces is probably the most contentious of the government's proposed changes. Now, whatever we personally feel about them, their impact is primarily on the spread of the virus to other people rather than protecting the wearer. One significant study showed the high effectiveness of face masks in limiting droplet spread from singing. So, as we return and have the freedom to sing together as a congregation, the continuation of mask wearing may be a sensible precaution. The London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, has proposed and now established measures across all of London transport in order to convey safety and reassurance, where the requirement to wear a face mask on London transport will remain in place. I am like-minded that safety and reassurance remain as high priorities for us as well. So I can now say that we will be returning to be together on Sunday the 1st of August. Sunday the 1st of August. As we return, we are conscious that many of us, whilst happily looking forward to doing so, will return with a level of cautiousness and apprehension, and rightly so. Therefore, we offer these guidelines. Social distancing is no longer mandatory, but we recognize that not everyone will be comfortable immediately sitting alongside others. So please be aware of and courteous to those who require space and distance. Secondly, wearing of masks indoors is also no longer required. However, there are many who will feel safer and more reassured in wearing one themselves. So please feel free about wearing or not wearing masks without any sense of judgment or condemnation when doing so. And thirdly, physical contact is something that has been missed by so many. However, there will be those for whom shaking hands and giving or receiving hugs is something they are not yet ready for. Please do not take offense if this is the case. For your safety and reassurance, hand gel sanitation points will remain in place throughout the building. Please use them for your personal and collective benefit, and increased ventilation will be maintained throughout our time together. The primary value we want to maintain as we return is grace. We all need to show compassion and understanding as we individually or collectively work through the implications of returning and may have differing opinions and conclusions. Be kind. Let's celebrate that we can finally begin the process of being together more freely, but also continue to love and care for one another. And finally, let's make our congregation a beacon of welcome and hope for all those who may look to join us. And as the UK prepares to embrace post-pandemic life, my prayer and hope is that we continue to show the wider community how to honor, value, and be gracious to all those around us, whatever life and the new normal might look like. God bless you all, and see you all soon. Take care.